Hey folks, I recently got to sit down with retired Marine Sergeant John Peck and talk to him about his story and how Warfighter Engaged was able to help him. Why don't we go ahead and start at the beginning? John, just go ahead and talk to us a bit about your story.
So I'm actually a quad amputee, and I had my arms and legs amputated from my injury in Helmand Province, Afghanistan, on May 24th, 2010. And I was at Bethesda Hospital, and I can't remember exactly where I met Ken. I can't remember if I met him at Walter Reed or Bethesda, because there used to be the old school Walter Reed that was at Washington.
Right.
And then Walter Reed and Bethesda came together. But I think it was Bethesda. Yeah, it was Bethesda.
Now, did Ken reach out to you, or did somebody tell you about Warfighter Engaged and Ken Jones?
At the time, he wasn't actually Warfighter Engaged. I met him before then.
Oh, excellent.
One day my occupational therapist, somebody came up to me and said, hey, we saw that you were, playing around with remote control cars, and you're talking about them, and how's that work and everything? And I said, it's not working out so good. I've damaged this really expensive remote control car, and it kind of sucks, having to take it in and get repaired and all this stuff. And they're like, well, there's this guy that comes on like Wednesdays or Thursdays, and he'll help adapt stuff for you, like electronics. And we started talking, and he's like, yeah, I could do something. Maybe like a month later, he brought this control that like attached to my wheelchair, and freaking didn't end up crashing into that much stuff anymore.
That's not the only thing Ken's built for you, right?
No, it's not. He was like, do you have any other hobbies that you can't do anymore that's like electronic? And I was like, right now I'm kind of playing my computer, and it kind of sucks because all I can play is like Civilization, and it's like, it's fun, but it's kind of gets boring after a while. And he's like, well, what did you like to do before? And I said, well, I used to play video games before my injury. And he's like, well, what console? And at this time, it was I said it doesn't really matter, anything. I just would like to play video games again. And he came back maybe like a few weeks later, and he showed me his design and everything like that. I was like, all right, we can try this. And he developed it and brought it to Walter Reed, and of course there was like lots of fixes that needed to be done, and we got everything fixed, and we've made it better and better each time. Like he's actually coming Monday because I've actually broke the remote.
He has to come and fix it for you again.
Yeah, well, he's told me multiple times. He's like, you were the first one that I did like this. Like he was doing like regular remote control adaptations, but he wasn't doing like these custom tabletop remote.
Right.
Like this is like, people come to my house and they're like, dude, what the hell is that thing? And I said, oh, that's how I play video games. So like, you play video games on that thing, and basically imagine like there's a left joystick, and then L1 and L2 are on the left joystick, and I use my left arm for that, and then I only have my right nub. I don't have a left nub. My left leg was completely dissolved by a flesh-eating virus that ate it all the way up to the hip. But my right leg is amputated just above the knee, and there's switches on my knee. So if I lift my leg up, that's like pushing the right joystick in. So what's technically called R3. If I move my leg to the right, that's R2. This is for PlayStation, by the way.
Sure.
If I move my leg in towards my body, that's L1. And then on my right arm, I have, the right joystick. And then above the joystick, I also have like a crescent moon shape, upside down crescent moon with the square, triangle, circle, X. And now that I have a PS4, he's added like a little touch pad and 2 other byte switches. Like in order to shoot for like Call of Duty, right?
Right.
I'm moving around with the left joystick and looking around with the right joystick, but then I've got to push my leg towards my body, in my body, and then I have to bite on this bite switch. And that's like how I shoot and aim, or shoot, aim, and move, look around, aim, and shoot at the same time.
That sounds pretty complicated to me.
Oh, it was. I looked at this thing
to get used to it.
Yeah. I looked at this thing. I was like, seriously, you're expecting me to work this thing? He's like, yeah.
He also, I've seen the pictures. He built you a paintball rig too, right?
Yeah, I have a track chair, an all-terrain track chair, and at the time I was like very interested in getting to the paintball, and unfortunately nobody wants to mess around with it. So I'm thinking about seeing if he would like it back, and that way he can use it for somebody else maybe.
Well,
Maybe he,
let me ask you, how important was it to meet Ken and be able to get your hobbies back?
oh, it was very important. I mean, like there's nobody else that does this, and like it's unfortunate. Like I've offered, I was like, Ken, let me give you some money. No, like dude, these rigs cost like at least a good grand, at least, if not more. I was like, how are you paying for this? He's like, oh, I'm paying this out of my pocket. I was like, well, let me give you some money. No, you guys have suffered too much.
He's a pretty humble guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, not even, I mean that, and like he won't take money from people, like from us.
If you could say anything to Ken Jones, Warfighter Engaged, what would you want to say to him?
All seriousness, like I appreciate everything he's done. I just wish he would like half the time when I say, hey, let me pay for your gas, let me pay for, maybe like a nice dinner, let me pay for your hotel, let me give you some money for building these rigs. I mean, I really wish he would accept it because, I mean, that money doesn't necessarily go towards my rig or my visit, but it will go to the future guys. I mean, or maybe it'll go, and maybe somehow, there won't be any more future guys, and somehow there will be a time where I need need him to come down and rebuild my rig, and he doesn't have money for it. He can't do it anymore. Then I can be like, dude, accept the payment.
Right.
Because after Ken's gone, there's no one else. That's it.